And it's Lexi Keller on target 1, Dahlia Crook on target number 2. Lexi on the right as you look at your screen. And there's Dahlia. The nerves. You got to keep them under control.
It's a big deal to be in front of this huge crowd. Many of these archers. So one of the interesting things is this is a crowd full of archers. Everybody here knows exactly what's going on, which is that makes it that much harder. If you have a crowd of spectators, they may or may not know when you've made a mistake or what you've done is great. So it works either way. If you shoot a spectacular shot and that appears up on the Jumbotron and the crowd cheers for you, you get to say, yeah, that was me. But if you make a mistake like PJ's last 9, the whole crowd will send up a murmur, and you'll know that everybody knows that you just dumped a 9 and you shouldn't have.
But the great competitors embrace these moments.
Indeed.
Let's see who embraces the moment here in this women's compound bronze medal match.
Leading out with a 10. Nice start. 10 for both of them, yes. They make that draw. Experienced compound shooters who are shooting the proper amount of bowie, that's a solid 9 from Lexi. I love watching experienced, competent, that's an even bigger 9, compound shooters draw their bow. It's a nice, smooth draw, controlled, level at the target. That's in.
Close.
That's in. That's got it.
That's touching, isn't it?
Yep. It's a line biter, but it does score 10.
Braden Galantine coaching and encouraging Dahlia Crook.
They've given it a 9-star. When I draw a compound bow by comparison, there's an awful lot of herky-jerky motion going on. I pull too hard over the peak weight, and then all of a sudden let's go, and I don't know where that's happening, so I just hammer into the wall.
Well, you're a recurve man.
I am. I'm much better at drawing a bow that just gradually gets heavier. That's my game. That's what I do. So it is a pleasure to watch the experienced archers draw their bows nice and smoothly.
Right now on our score sheet, they've got Dahlia Crook up by 1, 29-28.
I think that's going to change. I think this is even match right now.
And looking for closer inspection on all the targets. All 4 matches going on simultaneously right now.
That's a really big dot. I bet that dot covers at least the gold, if not almost all of the target face in Lexi's scope. So if we get a shot of Lexi's scope again, you'll see there's a fairly large blue dot right in the middle. And some compound archers, rather than, there you can see that dot a little bit, rather than looking at the 10 ring, they center that dot in one of those rings. So with a blue dot, she may be just centering it in the blue ring. And as long as it's floating around in there somewhere, it's not going to be moving around too much, so she'll be able to be comfortable and just execute a nice solid shot, as opposed to if you're trying to aim at that tiny little penny-sized 10 ring and trying to hold a pin inside there, there's way too much movement. It creates a lot of tension in the archer. So having the larger dot and not being able to see the 10 ring at least. So that dot, I don't know how it magnifies and works out. That dot may be just floating inside the gold as well. I don't know what she sees through her scope. It could be any of several different setups, but almost guaranteed she's not trying to hold anything dead inside the 10 ring. She's using a larger reference, and that will help her to relax and just shoot easy shots. It is 29-29.
They did change the score, so we're tied up at 29 all. Heading towards the second end. Compound matches going on, 4 of them simultaneously, which is what all these archers are used to anyway. If you go to any tournament during qualification, you'll have hundreds of people shooting simultaneously.
Indeed, Quite often at the World Cup level, the bronze medal matches are held one at a time, as you well know. These are all 4 bronze medal matches. There are, in fact, 2 compound matches, 2 recurve matches going on.
So a little bit unusual, but
nothing too far out of the norm.
No.
And it's nice and efficient. It'll keep the audience engaged. There's lots to watch. It's all happening very quickly. Another solid 9. She should have shaded that in. That's the same. When you can see those big holes through your scope, I think it's a real advantage to fill them in.
Lexi Keller drops a point.
But she's already taken this end, so she's going to finish off this end at least a point up. 2 points up.
2 points. So a tough end for Dahlia Crook.
Hanging out a little bit left. Interesting.
But keeping her spirits up.
Game ain't over yet.
Nope.
We haven't yet seen a perfect score on the women's side, so that may be the hope that she's clinging to, that it's possible that Lexi will drop another few points. But I believe we had a 148 in the last pass, so being evidence-based, as I tend to be, it's quite possible that Lexi Keller will shoot the rest of the way clean, and Dahlia Crook's fate is no longer in her hand.
9 more arrows left to go, though, here in this match.
It's a long way when you're shooting.
Sure. And a lot can happen with those last 9 arrows. So Dahlia Crook keeping her hopes alive and her spirits up. Trailing by 2 points, 58-56. Lexi Keller forging ahead in this match. Gold medal matches coming up.
There's a good view on that huge dot.
Yeah, you can see how big that is.
And she's shooting a large dot as well. So neither of those women will be able to see the 10 ring, I don't believe.
Look at confidence on the face of Lexi Keller. And not quite the same look on Dahlia's face. As we get set for the third end.
There's our
or round
Vegas
3,
round
as we
3.
say in Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
Got to add a little bit of Vegas to the event.
Oh, absolutely. The razzle, the dazzle. It's showbiz. Welcome to Las Vegas. Or as I like to call it, lost wages.
Ah, indeed.
Yes.
Many people do.
Oh, yes. So can Dahlia Crook battle back against Lexi Keller? We're about to find out as we head to the third end.
In the other matches, Rick van der Ven is down 3-1 against Ji Don-hyun. And Lenola Pritchard is down 4-0 to Sim Yi-ji. On the compound men's bronze medal match, it's perfect 60-60. PJ versus Peter. That's a great match going on there.
So just about set to go here. Dahlia Crook with her first shot, and it's in there.
Yep, that's a very nice 10.
Lexi Keller also with the 10. Keeping pace, countering.
Staying ahead.
Ooh.
That's another 9.
That's a 9.
Is that Lexi's 9?
That's Lexi's 9.
Interesting.
Just a little bit low with her second shot.
There we go, 1 point back. Just need one more. And we're game on again. Even so, 76-77. It's a nice tight match. That was a good shot. There's a 10. Dahlia's doing her job. They're going to have to replace that target face.
Ooh. So 3 10s for Dahlia Crook. Definitely a 9 on her second shot. And they put the asterisk up by the third shot, so there's a possibility we could be tied.
Indeed. Yes, that's too close to call by the internationally renowned distance caller George Tekmachov, and that means something.
Even with that monocular. But we'll give George the benefit of the doubt. He's got to be at least 30 meters away.
Oh, at least. And he's looking down on it. It depends. If that's a high 9-10, it may be quite hard to distinguish from that height.
Sim Yi-ji has won the bronze medal in women's recurve, defeating Lenola Pritchard of the United States. So one of the compound matches has been decided.
No. None of the compound matches.
No,
one of the recurve matches.
Recurve, excuse me. As Braden looks on, Braden Gellantine.
And I believe it's all but done. No, it's 4-2 over on the recurve men's side.
Got the magnifying glass out here to take a look at those arrows.
Rick van der Ven is making a game of it.
Dahlia Crook fighting her way back into this match. Getting a little bit of help from Lexi Keller.
So Dahlia is very new to the World Archery stage. She's so new that she's not in the World Archery database.
She will be after tonight.
Indeed. She's getting some valuable experience here. I was thinking, just looking at the image, and I'm not familiar with the name, so I was thinking she might be on the younger side. That's why I went to the World Archery database to see if I could track down her age, which I'm struggling to do.
Great shot of that target face right there.
Ah, that's a 9, I believe. Oh, she got a 10 out of it, so it is 87-86. And we're on to round 4.
So Lexi Keller clinging to the 1-point lead. Meanwhile, Deloche and Elzinga tied up at 90 all.
Nice. And I was just about to say that was a nice 30 by Dahlia Crook, but 2 nice 90s over on the compound men bronze medal match, so that's great.
And Rick van der Ven hanging in there, trailing 4-2 in his match. They
both shot 30s on that last set as well, so there's a lot of 30s that happened on that last set there.
Dahlia puts a dagger in the target.
There it is. So we are tied match. There's a 10 to a 9.
2 arrows to decide this one. Perhaps.
We still have another set.
That's right, we have one more end.
So we're tied with 5 arrows left. There's a nice 10. Solid 10. Now it's time to get down to business.
The ups and downs, the backs in the fourth.
It's a great match. Down 2 points, and she just started piling in 10s. Oh, did she dump a 9?
On the first arrow.
On the third arrow. There it is. So the 1-point lead is maintained. 29-29 in that end.
So Crook had a chance. Keller opened the door.
There's Matt Rekwa in the audience there behind her.
Meanwhile, that is one great bronze medal men's compound final taking place right now. We've got a clean score, 120. Will probably end up on the board for both of those gentlemen. Outstanding.
Rick van der Ven shooting.
Yeah, we're waiting for the last arrow from him. He shoots what looks like a 10.
Got it, 10-10-10. So now it's 5-1, or 5-3 rather, if Rick can take the next set.
So that changes the score in that match with the Korean Ji Dong-hyun leading at 5-3.
Yeah, I believe that was a pair of 30s shot over on the recurve men's side.
As you get another good look at Lexi Keller and Dahlia Crook.
Looks like Lexi was looking for where that arrow went before it left her bow. Yeah, she was confident in that third one, though. There's Braden keeping Dahlia Crook nice and centered. He's great at that. If there's somebody you want as your coach back behind you, Braden is an excellent choice. He's got a really solid approach. He exudes confidence.
Love to watch him shoot.
Well, he's an excellent shooter, too. So
Great shooter, but brings so much emotion and energy and life to the game.
Yep.
Wears his emotions, his feelings on his sleeve. If he's happy, you'll know it. And if he's not happy, you'll know that too.
Indeed.
Let's give it up for PJ Walsh and Peter Elson, the perfect scores so far.
And that show of emotion does have a slightly polarizing effect on his competitors.
But it's Braden Gellantine. It's who he is.
And you got to go with who you are.
Got to go with that. That's right.
If you fight your nature, you're not going to win.
And it's worked pretty well for Braden Gellantine. Great match going on right now in the men's compound bronze medal match. Elzinga and Deloche tied up at 120 apiece.
Excellent shooting over there. Oh, they're replacing the target faces. They've chewed up the 10 ring so badly on the men's compound bronze.
Who's going to blink? That's the question. Not just in that match, but this match that we're watching as well. Right now, Lexi Keller with a 1-point advantage, 116 to 115.
It was a pair of 30s on the recurve side. So that's a 60 for each of Ji Dong-hyun and Rick van der Ven. And of course, 2 pairs of 60s each for Peter Elzinga and PJ Deloche. Oh, there's a 119 over on. That's interesting. So there's a gain, a score discrepancy, which is interesting.
So here we go.
This is the end that will mean that decides who wins. That's a 9.
And meanwhile, Dahlia Crook, I believe, shot a 10.
I believe so as well. So I believe we're tied. They're giving it a 9-star. I'm pretty confident that's a 9, but there's a pretty big hole chewed at the bottom of that 10 ring, so that may need a judge to decide. There's a solid 10. Not a real solid 10, but it's good enough.
Did she catch it?
She did. Oh, that's interesting. They've given Dahlia Lexi. I think they've given Lexi Dahlia's. Yeah, there it is.
Score, yeah.
So that was a solid 9 from Lexi. This is a great opportunity for Dahlia to just capitalize and finish it up. Ooh, big 9 though. So it all comes down to that 9-star.
Wow.
If that first 9 is a 10, we have a shoot-off? No.
No.
If
Lexi
it's a
would
9,
win.
we have a shoot-off.
If it's a 9, we've got a shoot off. If it's a 10, Lexi Keller wins.
Wow. Well, that's a way to bring drama to the sport.
Some anxious moments. Can you say anxious? Back and forth. Boy, they went back and forth in this match.
I think Braden's pretty confident that that's a shoot-off.
Peering down through the binoculars.
That's an excellent. It's an excellent match from Dahlia Crook. Excellent.
So we're still waiting for Rick van der Ven to shoot, and he just has. 10-10-10 for Rick van der Ven, we're told. Oh,
it's a tie.
It's a tie.
So Rick will take 4th, and Ji Dong-hyun
as they split the
is in bronze.
Set points.
Yep. But that's 3 30s in the row to finish that match. That's excellent shooting by those 2 guys.
Rick van der Ven putting up a fight, but Ji Dong-hyun was up by 2 points. Just needed to split that set.
Yeah,
pick up the 1 point.
Ji won the first set, and then they tied the remaining 3. And that's all you need to win. So once again, if this is a shoot-off, the archers must shoot at the center face, the middle face, the second one from the top, second one from the bottom, however you want to describe that. If they shoot, it doesn't matter if they aim at the other one. It's the center one that counts. And then it's first for score, then for closest to the middle. Already tonight we have seen a couple of really nice shoot-off arrows. They're going to get... There it is. It is a tie. We have a shoot-off. This is fantastic. Couldn't ask for anything better than that.
Hey, we're in the Wild West.
We have a shoot-off over on the men's bronze, too. The men's bronze are tied at 149.
The thumbs up from Braden Galantine for Dahlia Crook.
This is exactly what you want in your medal matches. You want a close match between great competitors.
And they change the target faces at the other end.
And that's to ensure that they can get a clean measurement so that they can compare the distance should they need to.
Braden's been in this situation many times himself before and gives some great advice to Dahlia Crook.
I think that advice is shoot it in the middle. You'll win.
And I'm sure Lexi's getting the same advice from her coach as well. Two up-and-coming, very promising archers from the United States, Dahlia Crook and Lexi Keller, in a great battle going on right here in Las Vegas, going down to the wire. One arrow to decide it. Fernando helping out down there.
These Morel targets, they're so hard to get the target tacks in. You bend your thumb halfway backwards. It's the surface. I don't know what it's made of, but it's very impenetrable. Once you're through, the material just behind it is nice and smooth to get in, but you have to punch through that initial surface, and that's what they're struggling with a little bit while putting up those targets.
What is going through the mind of Lexi Keller, and Dahlia Crook for that matter?
Hopefully they're thinking about nothing in particular just yet, so that when it comes time, they can close down their focus and just
do what they do naturally.
Indeed, let it go, let it happen. Shoot with their own rhythm.
Easier said than done?
It depends. Almost I would give Dahlia Crook an advantage because she may be, and I'm just basing this may be entirely ignorance on my part. I don't know what competition she shot, but because I'm unfamiliar with her, she may be sufficiently overwhelmed that she doesn't have the mental wherewithal. I've been there, so this is not an insult. I've been at tournaments where I didn't have the mental space remaining to worry about how to shoot. I just got up there and shot as best I could, and those are some of my best results. So that can almost be an advantage to be on this stage for the first time in a shoot-off, as opposed to being a little bit more prepared and having a little bit of an expectation. We'll see what happens. It could go really well, could go not so well at all. Those are the two usual results.
One arrow to decide the match. They both shoot quickly. Dahlia with the 9, Lexi with the 10, and Lexi Keller comes away with the bronze medal. How about that?
But a big hug from Braden. That was a solid performance by Dahlia Crook. Slightly edged by Lexi. Two good competitors give each other a hug. It's a good match.
Very good match.
Yeah.
Very good match. Both performing well. Both giving up a point here or there. Back and forth they went throughout this match, and now Lexi Keller can sigh that sigh of relief as she goes to retrieve her arrows.
And I do believe PJ has won the bronze over on the men's side.
So I hope you enjoyed that match. Great match in the women's compound, the bronze medal match. An excellent 10.
Yeah, you can see how close that was to touching the center of the cross. And that's a long way out there.
Not what she had in mind. But great experience for both of these young ladies, young women.
Not a great result. Fourth in this field. I'd be happy with it. I'd be happier with third. And, as you go up the tree, I'd continue to get happier and happier.
Yes, with silver and then gold. But Lexi Keller going to go back home with a bronze medal from Las Vegas, and that ain't all bad. So a highly competitive match between the two American archers in this women's bronze medal match.
Shooting almost simultaneously. That's a good 10.
And Deloche does take the men's bronze medal match in the compound competition as he wins the tiebreaker with Peter Elzinga 10-9.